I'm not able to answer.
You can't read these words and tell what those words say?
I can read the statute, and I did.
All right, then tell me what they mean.
Billy Long, former Congressman Billy Long, I believe from Missouri, is an absolute self-dealing maniac. If you want to learn more about him, he is now the current nominee to run the IRS for Donald Trump. Wow, it's crazy. If you want to know more about him, though, Rachel Maddow did a great piece. She has this series called like Public Politician. It's got a very clever name that I'm not remembering because I'm not even clever enough to remember the name. But we'll put the screenshot up and I'll put a link below to watch everything you can about this guy because this guy is dangerous. I know IRS and taxes and economics and all of this stuff. It's not super sexy. It's not, Donald Trump's brain is melting or Marjorie Taylor Greene is whatever. It's not that, but it's more important than that for the fact that this impacts all of us. Everybody pays taxes. And if we have a corrupt IRS, a corrupt revenue service that can be weaponized by Donald Trump, that can be used to enrich themselves through weird self-dealing, it is devastating. So I got two clips here. One is Ron Wyden. The other is Elizabeth Warren. And Ron Wyden is the co-chair. He's the vice chair of this committee, the ranking member of this particular committee. And this really devolved into an outing of Billy Long with Elizabeth Warren, leaving him really just shaken, stuttering and stammering and unable to communicate because he was outed so viciously and brutally as a know-nothing. He is just a sycophant for Donald Trump. But first, I want to play this clip of Ron Wyden where they have audio recordings of like promises he's made to disparate groups that once I get confirmed, it's on. We're all going to get rich, y'all, kind of a deal. And his answer in denying the accusation that's being leveled here is one of those deals where when you lie and you give way too much information to try to cover for the lie that it's obvious you're lying because nobody needed all that. He's talking about having food poison. Well, I had food poisoning, so I didn't. It's just classic chef's kiss Donald Trump nominee kind of nonsense. But the outing that was done is very important. Watch Ron Wyden just laying it to him. This is toward the very end of the hearing yesterday.
The reason you've been getting all these questions from my colleagues with respect to this $165,000 in campaign donations after the announcement that you had been nominated is the concern about the possibility that promises were made in exchange for that money. I just want to give you the chance to go over this with me. Did you promise any tax promoter you would help them if you got confirmed?
I can answer that with an affirmative no.
Okay. So you didn't meet with anybody when you were in town for the inauguration and promised them a private letter arrangement or something like that?
A private letter arrangement,
where you say, we're going to help you if I'm confirmed.
I haven't promised anybody a letter of any type that I can think of.
Okay.
And I was in my room for about 50 hours because I had food poisoning during the inauguration, so I didn't talk to many people.
Okay. Mr. Long, our staff investigators have on tape now a tax promoter saying you met with him at the inauguration and promised him a favorable private letter ruling. We also have on tape the White River CFO who gave you the thousands of dollars that he expects favorable treatment of these fake tribal credits. So that's why I'm so troubled by this argument you've given today that, well, you can go over to the FEC and see things. That money doesn't just fall out of the sky and land at the FEC, and that's why these taped conversations are so troubling to me.
Very believable, Billy Long. Quite the performance. Not that I can think of. What do you mean, not that you can think of? You wouldn't be able to remember meeting people and making promises to them relative to when you get to be the IRS commissioner? That wouldn't ring any bells or jog your memory at all. But also, I had food poisoning. And Wyden says, well, we got it on tape. Remarkable. I hope this is another case, not another case where Democrats join to vote for this nominee. Hope it's not another Cory Booker voting for Charles Kushner, or another case like the full Senate, even Democrats voting for Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State. We need an opposition party that actually stands in opposition to fascism. I think we have that in Elizabeth Warren, who questioned Billy Long and really outed him as just unqualified, to be the most gentle, fair, and charitable to the situation is that he is not qualified. She really did lay it on him, though. It's pretty much a situation where it's like, can you even read? Can you read the words in front of you? Can you comprehend your mother tongue, sir? It's quite the thing to behold. Watch this.
And I'm asking what I think is a pretty simple question. Can the President of the United States legally tell the IRS to change someone's nonprofit status?
I'm not able to answer.
You can't read these words and tell what those words say?
I can read the statute, and I did.
All right, then tell me what they mean. What does it mean to say that a person, an applicable person here, that's the president, right?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Cannot directly or indirectly, right, tell any officer or employee, that would be you, of the Internal Revenue Service to conduct or terminate an audit or other investigation of any particular taxpayer. What part do you not understand here?
It seems to be a nonprofit. I don't see exactly what it refers to.
Any taxpayer to start an investigation of any taxpayer.
If it's illegal, I'm not going to allow it to happen in my IRS.
Is it illegal? That's the
Me and you
question.
will be friends then. I want to be your friend
statute.
anyway, but we will be on the same page. I'm going to follow the law, and if that's point blank
What do
the law.
you understand the law to be saying about the president telling the IRS in his dealings with any particular taxpayer? What do you understand this law to be saying?
I think it sounds like it's saying what you're saying, but I've got a little bit of the section here, and I looked at it. I talked to an attorney that used to be at the IRS and now going to maybe be back at the IRS, and I'm sorry if I don't have the answer.
What, you mean the lawyers told you they couldn't understand this?
The what?
The lawyers told you they couldn't understand this?
I didn't say that.
Well, then tell me, what part do you not understand? It says no person, and you've said that's the president, that includes the president, cannot instruct any officer, that would be you, of the IRS to conduct or to terminate an audit or other investigation for any particular taxpayer.
I don't intend to let anybody direct me to start audit for political reasons or any other type of reason.
Does that include the President of the United States?
That's anyone.
Can you say
Anyone.
yes, that the President of the United States cannot tell the IRS what to do?
I can tell them they're not going to tell me what to do. I can't speak for if there's other agents at the IRS that you're talking about, but I'm telling you what I don't want to have happen in my IRS.
You know, Mr. Long, you'd have a lot more credibility if you just say yes. It's clear that the statute makes it illegal for the president to direct the IRS vis-a-vis any particular taxpayer. And the fact that you want to sit there and dance around about this tells me that you shouldn't be within 1,000 miles of the directorship of the IRS. I protest.
Senator Barrasso.
You see, this is what they do. They try to answer a question either indirectly, so they have some plausible deniability that it wasn't perjury, or they just ignore the question altogether. And he kind of did a version of both. It's very easy. If the president asks you to violate the law, will you do it? No, I won't do that. I will not violate the law. I will take my charge and duties and oath to the Constitution seriously, and I will abide by the Constitution. I will not weaponize the IRS. I will not follow illegal orders by the President of the United States, because the Constitution trumps all of that. Very easy. He couldn't do it, though. And she's right. He should not be within 1,000 miles of the IRS. And I hope that Democrats are paying attention. Those who have the authority of advice and consent under the Constitution, the requisite, the marching orders, the compulsory duty to do so. Do not vote to confirm Billy Long to be the weaponizer of the IRS. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can click below and comment. I would appreciate that. You can also call the voicemail line. Leave me a fewer than 3-minute voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Again, please subscribe to the show. It is free. I would appreciate it very much. Watch some videos over the next couple days. This one, I'm putting out 3 others on top of this one. Please help this channel gain its position back in the algorithm and figure out, at least fix maybe, what is suspicious that's going on. I'll see you next time. I love and appreciate you for your engagement, for your passion, for your organization, and your activism. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.